humans have as much hair on their bodies, our bodies, as monkeys. Much hair on our bodies as a monkey.
What?
Surprising.
That's crazy.
Surprising. Much smaller and finer, but same in number. Although perhaps you have a little bit more here.
And you definitely have less.
Guess what we're talking about?
Ding dong!
Ooh, so there's a die.
Are we talking about genetic genes?
Guessed that at least 20 times.
Yep.
And we have done that, actually. No, we're talking about government. Learning stuff.
Risky.
What's a government? What is government?
Well, the government is kind of like a law enforcement or something. Like a kind of like a leader to a type of country or city.
So the government makes laws. Have we always had government?
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think Homo erectus had government?
No, not really.
Do cats have government?
Not really.
Why not? What do they do without government? They must be pretty messed up.
No, they are wild, or kind of just like, there's wild animals, they don't have government. Cats, which are animals but not wild, do not have government.
Why don't cats have government?
Well, first of all, they are animals. We're animals too, but we are more smarter than them.
Well, I mean, animals do sort of have government. Because what is government, basically? What is it, basically?
Well, basically, it's just a person that gives you money, not to pay taxes for what it does for you.
Well, when we're talking about animals, we're not talking about money, though. If you're a boss animal, it's basically someone who governs and controls the group is government. And animals have that, don't they? So, like cats, how do they make government?
Well, they kind of do that to the most, really the most strongest or
That's
biggest.
right, that's right. And humans did that too. And that's kind of like government. And that's kind of like a kind of government called dictatorship. Kind of like that. It means like one powerful dude rules.
Yeah, kind of like,
And everyone else got to suck it up.
yeah. But this will never happen in our world because this only happens in in like a country. This will never happen in the whole entire world.
In our world, as in Canada, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, it wouldn't happen in Canada.
Or it wouldn't happen in the whole wide world.
It does happen in the world. There are
No, I mean
dictatorships.
like they just only one dictatorship.
Only one dictatorship.
Mm-hmm.
The world dictatorship.
Like just the world
There
dictatorship.
can't be one. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because nobody would agree to this.
What if there was like one person who was more powerful than anyone else and they could leverage that power to control everyone?
Yeah, but what happened if everyone teamed up on that single person?
Why wouldn't they team up? How would that one single person, perhaps someone like Elon Musk or something?
Or something like in Star Wars Infinity, like,
Yeah, like Palpatine, like the Sith.
or Darth Vader.
That's right. How do they get the power?
Well, through strength and kind of, yeah, that's really.
And keeping people divided and fighting amongst themselves or fearful, or there's many ways in which the dictator can keep people from organizing to oppose them. You see, it's actually very difficult to do, to get everyone on the same page. You know what that is? Same page? To fight the dictatorship. What are some different kinds of government? Like, what is the government here in Canada? What kind of government we got?
Well, we got a kind of government that is supposed to sustain our lives and keep society safe. That's how it's
Yeah, well, that's basic government. That's government 101. How about Indonesia? Does Indonesia have a government?
Yeah.
How is it different from the Canadian government, do you think?
Well, one thing to say, they don't really care. Yeah. They don't really care.
It's not that they don't really care. It's that they're they can't do anything.
Yeah.
They're far more disorganized than Canada. Canada is incredibly organized. So if you don't have government, like when we lived in this place called Tambak Soka, right? And the police never went there. The police never went there. So there was basically no law. What happens in a situation like that where there's no law? Or the law will not be enforced?
Well, there could be many outbreaks.
There could be many outbreaks, but something stops the outbreaks. What is it?
The government?
Well, anytime people get together and form a community, they'll form some kind of an organization that will perform these functions. So we had the night patrol, right? I joined the night patrol sometimes, called the Ronda in Indonesia, right? Where we like walk around the village with sticks and stuff to stop people from stealing things. And that's kind of like government, or a pre-government, or an early form of government. It's community working together. Government is really when you've got the bigger thing, like you've got the whole country and like millions and millions of people that you gotta get them on the same page. And it's not easy to do. Some people don't like government. Who doesn't like government?
Well, possibly Donald Trump. Possibly.
I think that's true.
Maybe.
He certainly doesn't like
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. You mean he doesn't like Joe Biden, or Joe Biden doesn't like government?
Donald Trump does not like Joe Biden.
Yeah. Well, see, Joe Biden sort of represents government, or the institution of government. And Donald Trump represents a different kind of tendency, more like a dictatorship, or a gangster society, like that. A gangster's paradise. Think the Canadian government's pretty good or pretty not good? What do you think?
Pretty good.
Why? What's so good about it?
Well, the society.
What?
The society.
What about the society?
The society's ego. They have really good laws. They.
All society's equal. I mean, that's something government can do. Government can, some people disagree on this. Some people say government shouldn't try to make people equal. Some people say that government should just run the fire department and make sure people can, the traffic lights work and ba-doo-ba-da-ba-da, like that.
Yeah.
Some people say that government should make society more equal. Some people say, many people say, I say, yeah. It's, but I mean, that's the difference politically that people can have, and that's why we vote. There you go. How do laws get made, and do laws change?
Well, in the first ages of when there was finally a president in like kind of 2000 BC or something in the latest like kind of thousands. So they kind of started to make a kind of ruler that would tell people to do or what they should do.
Yeah.
There have been many laws.
Yeah, there's one of the original oldest laws is the Code of Hammurabi, that they chiseled it into a giant stone. That was in Babylon, and because that was like the area where they had the first government, Mesopotamia. And the reason they needed a government, and not just like community rules like in Tambak Sokra, was because you need to communicate it to a very large number of people, and all those people have to be on the same page with what you're doing. So it'd be very simple code and laws. Like, what was an earliest law? What's something you do or you don't do?
Well, there's something that you would do, possibly. Well, is to kind of rob a bank and try to get money.
Yeah, you can't rob banks. Although they didn't have banks in Mesopotamia.
Yeah, they did.
No, they
Well,
didn't.
they kind of had like jewelry and stuff.
And you could rob that. You
Or
could rob that
something.
from someone.
Or it could kind of like in the 2000 BC, like cavemen that had shiny rock, and cavemen wanted that shiny rock, but
We were
yeah,
not there in 20,000.
maybe.
Yeah. I mean, even back then, there were things that were more valuable or seen as valuable, and you could take them from someone. So let's imagine it's 20,000 years ago and you take something from someone. What happens to you?
Well, you could go to jail.
There was no jail. So what was the kind of justice they would have had then, 20,000 years ago? Well, they do something like tell you to leave the tribe, tell you to get your butt out of here kind of thing. Or they could hit you with sticks or do stuff like that, corporal punishment. I mean, the concept of jail would come much, much later in history. And it's kind of a good thing because, I mean, then people have a chance to join the society again at some point. Although, I mean, there's issues around that which are debated. What should you do if you're in a place and there ain't no government?
Oh my god.
Well, one thing you could do, if you are not in a kind of place that you do not have a government in there, well, it's kind of just like free land. But with no government, there is no society. And no society, it's kind of all puzzled around.
And people will end up fighting over that free land. And then you got disputes. And that's the point of government, is to solve disputes between people within a society. It's really what government is, basically. Like that.